Hello and welcome to Yoga with Laura Ashlyn. Please hit that subscribe button down below and share with your friends, social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're comfortable doing. And certainly you can have a nice practice in your own home. Doesn't have to be out to the world as well. So you could follow me with a practice. Nice down dog over there. Anyway, today we're going to work on the abductors, which is to take away the legs. The muscles will stretch open. And the adductors, AD, which would bring the muscles back. Normally we're walking around, our poles are straight underneath our hips, and we have a lot of tightness here because the legs are used to being right underneath the hips in contracted muscles. It's very difficult to have an open splayed leg and be comfortable about it without tipping the pelvic bowl forward and then creating an arch in the back. So we try to open, but the spine tips forward. So we're going to work just a little bit of stretching these inside adductor and abductor muscles, AB and AD. And so we will begin first with a little bit of warm-up. What I'd like you to do is seated comfortably. Let's just go ahead and begin to spin a little bit in a circle and work on those hips. And we'll take it the other direction. You can be on a riser of a block, maybe a bolster, maybe you're just flat on the mat. And as you're opening and relaxing these hip muscles that join from the spine out to the pelvic plate, or sometimes they attach to the trochanter at the top of the leg bone, we still want to get these hip muscles, the horizontal ones, also very stretched out. Not just hip, but then the opening of the abduction of the leg to take away. Kind of loosening them up a little bit. Now I do have blocks with me because we're going to work on some lunges as well and straps. So if you need to go get your blocks or straps, that's great, or maybe you already have them ready to go. And I have borrowed a pair of pants today so that you can see the leg movement. I prefer to have the big poofy harem pants or balloon pants. I'm not one for the tight leggings. I feel I need to be freer than that. So I have actually borrowed these pants today to show you a little bit of this leg movement. And I don't know why my dog is here. Maybe this black and white, and he sees the black and white since dogs see black and white. So we'll see how long he lasts if I begin to move around a little bit. So the first thing that we're going to do is come to the side, and hopefully you can still look over and see me. And I'm just going to come into arms inside the legs here, and they're pressing in. This is almost like a seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, you lift up long and look to the sky. On the exhale, my legs are pressing the arms together. The arms are lengthening the shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Pause it. The beginning and the end of each of these pieces so that you can enjoy that last reach, come, and that ending point. Let's say you found an ending point. It really is the journey, but we love to get to these pieces that are finished off and enjoy that stretch for a moment. And inhale the legs, open up. So I'm getting a little bit of help with the inside of my arm to open up these adductors. Now we'll go ahead. I'm going to be a little bit of an angle so that you can see. If I'm always this way, it's hard to see the line. So I'm going to have a little bit of angle here. Now my legs aren't fully apart. I'm going to pull up the knees, flex the ankles, spread the toes. We don't want to drop the feet in. We don't want to roll the legs out either. We want to keep them straight line here so that the knees will point to the ceiling, the toes point to the ceiling. And here, if this, even this is too much, we're going to go ahead and bring the knees in a little bit. And you could also have a strap, maybe 2 straps. I want to invite you to do that as well. And then we're just going to drop in here. Rather than the knees up higher, I just lowered the knees. Taking the elbows, the upper arm here, little tricep bicep action, and just press the knees out. Couple of breaths. Notice I'm not rounding or hunching. I'm sending those shoulders into neutral. Sliding my shoulder blades down the back. Now, if you wish, inhale as you're coming up. I'm going to open up just a little bit more here. Pressing from behind. Again, this wonderful stretch of the upper groin, but also you're getting a medial stretch in the knee. So be careful of that as well. Great stretch in the calf. And again, if you need to be up, be up. This is perfectly fine. Just scoop those knees right up. Anything that will keep your spine from being part of the stretch. So we're just taking our hands behind us, exhaling as you're walking forward, inhaling as you come away, exhaling as you come a little farther. Notice I'm not here in the rounding. That brought my head down, which makes me have a goal or a gold star to reach my head on that mat. And I would much prefer to sink back into the spine, let it come together. Not too much retraction, but just a nice balanced retraction. That gave me more stretch than if I did this. That brought my muscles up into the thigh. The space is now being created here rather than open and press. So play with that a little bit and feel the difference in the backs of the legs. Yes, this is hamstring work as well, but it's not super important that the hamstrings be so stretchy. We want that nice in between. Now, by keeping my fingers behind, I'm keeping my shoulders in line under the ear. If I so choose to bring my hands around, right away I brought those shoulders in about 2 inches on either side. Back to the rounded shoulder. I have collapsed the pectoralis or contracted the pectoralis. If my hands are forward, I'm going to press those hands into the mat and almost feel like I'm sliding the floor toward the inside of my leg. So it's a little bit of a sticky point here. And as the energy lets the elbows down, we may be here. Or maybe we're not. Maybe we're here. These are all fine. Maybe we're here. Notice I'm doing my best. No one's perfect here, of course. I'm doing my best to keep the back of my skull in line with the neck. So definitely you follow that same rule. Oh yes, I said the word rule. You don't want to drop the neck offline or behind. That sunk the weight a little deeper. Working again. The abductors, the hams, a little bit of the QL, not to say we're not getting a stretch in the back. Very tiny little back muscles on the spine. But other than that, there's not a large patch of muscles here low in the sacral area. So it's not really the back that is doing the stretching. It is definitely the undergirdle of the leg, the abductor. Where do you find support? The hands and elbows close to the body so that you can grow length and angle, length and lower, length, lift it out, then lower. Now at some point, if my shoulder hinge and elbow hinge is stopping the collarbone and the heart from getting down, and as long as the back feels safe, I might get those out of the way and begin to lengthen. Now I can kind of surrender my heart or the upper sternum area of the rib cage toward the mat. Still stuck here. So we reach it out. And again, all these ranges, please do what is working for you. Never press, never push, never force. Bringing the breath with that. You saw as I inhaled, I lifted away, and as I exhaled, I softened. Now here, I don't want to push the chin up because I'm going to get that crease in the back of the neck. I want to make sure that that blood flow is coming to the brain. So here is where I would lengthen the back of the neck, place the forehead on the mat. I could reach more. That just brings my pectoralis and my chest, my rib cage down. Or I could decide to take hands out to the side. Relaxes me a little bit more. This is tension. This is more relaxing. Behind, more weight. So this is all your range from, I can't go past the floor, so here I am at the floor. Notice my arms are on my thighs, giving that weight, extending the tendons and ligaments behind the knee. If that's too much, we're going to come back, modifying all the way back. So here would be, this is it. I can't go any more than this. For the flexi people, this is an endorphin rush, and they seek this rush, but it doesn't mean that it is good for my knee joints or hip joints to be this flexible. I'm just demonstrating your range, and I might decide to be here for a moment or two because I like that stretch too, and I like that little bit of a rush going, oh, it feels so good to stretch out, but I'm not going to stay very long. I'm just going to visit it for a moment and then come back up. I want to make sure that things are strong. So here becomes the range. Underneath, remember shoulders under the, hands under the shoulders. I'm going to grow long and press out. Come up any amount, walk the hands. You might want to relieve that stretch, and again, you were here, or here, or here, or here. Let those elbows sink, and so on. So whatever that was for you, from pretty much 0 to 90, that's it. And all the degrees in between, 90 of them, can you imagine? All those are yours. If you need the stretching, then work toward lowering to the floor, but so slowly, with breath, patience. If you don't need to be stretching to the floor because you're already overly stretched, then pull back a little bit. Bend those knees, bring them in nice and tight. Right here. Tight. Very nice. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring these knees up. Give it a little bit of a rest. I'm going to take one leg at a time and bring them together, right? I am adducting these legs to come together. So for just a moment, I might want to open up the body in the opposite direction. Shoulder was neutral or protracted forward. Now I have retracted them to the back a little bit. Just to change it up. I'm still in flexion. So at some point, I do want to get my hips up into the air, and we'll be doing that in a moment. So that is Prasrita, a wide angle leg stretch. But all of that range is yours. So we're going to go ahead and work today. We have warmed up the adductor and abduct muscles in the center of the leg. But now we're going to go ahead and maybe take one at a time. Instead of distal from the center line of the body, we're going to stretch out the legs right in the medial, right in the center of the body. Okay. So the first thing we'll do is we will take the left foot, bring it up. I'm going to have my blocks available to me. Remember the heights of the blocks. Pick up that, set the toes in, pick up the knee. I'm going to bring it back a little bit and then replace the top of the foot. If this is too far away, I'd like to see that the wrists are right under the shoulders. However, you need to find the range that works for you. Inhale, I'm shifting my weight forward, I'm bringing my toe up. We've done this in the last couple of videos, but we're just going to go ahead and sit back. Any amount, you may be here, that's enough. Or here. Or here. So all of this path that these blocks are walking along that side of the mat, that whole kind of balance beam width, probably about 4 inches, is perfect for you. Again, stretching a little bit of the inside of the adductor and coming into the hamstring. Big inhale, exhale to come forward, any amount. Inhale as you come lifting. Exhale. And the action from my foot. Press with the foot. Get that action going. I might come forward a little bit here, and I'm going to sink in. So a little bit of a crescent lunge. And again, I just want you to see the limbs here because I wear such balloony pants. It's hard to see what the legs are doing, but I'm sacrificing. This isn't very comfortable for me. I just prefer loose material around my body to move. Now we're going to take the same stretching here and we're going to take it up. So this becomes Paschimottanasana. It is west Paschima, coming forward. Also, it's intense side stretch. It is a pyramid pose, lots of different names. I'm going to come off that back leg, bring my toes up, wait till it just feels right. Then I'm going to pick up that back leg, send my hips up. I'm going to bend that knee because I want that foot to come more underneath me so that full foot is on the mat. Now, even though I can be here in this Paschima style and my hands are framing the feet, don't forget you can play with these hands. They can be here, here. But the collapsing of the ribs on top of the thigh, I don't know. I think a little bit of that is fine, but I don't want to live here either. What I really like is taking the blocks. Better. Getting just as nice a stretch in that back calf, both calf muscles. Great stretch in the Achilles. If you wish, you can bend that front knee. This is a kind of a back body stretch. You could come a little lower. And these are the ranges for a pyramid. So you saw the high block, medium block, low block. Remember they have 3 heights. Here comes the hand. Inhale, breathe away. Exhale, come toward. Inhale, breathe away. Also this, that just brings me up an inch or 2. The tenting of the fingers. Exhale, toward. Have your blocks if you need it. Inhale, exhale, toward. Now, for those of you that say, well, this is not I really want more. And again, my range is pretty much beginners, advanced beginners, seniors. I want you to be super safe. But I also want you to feel like you're challenging. We can be here. You can bring the fingertips out to the side, again with blocks. You can bring the fingertips back behind you, and that brings more of an intense stretch on that left leg. Balance it out between left and right. So these are options with the hands. If you feel that this and this is not enough. Pyramid, Paschimottanasana. Now we're going to take this even more. Again, lower that back knee if you need to. I'm going to step back. Put my blocks so that they're more under the shoulder. Now I don't have socks. Socks on a wooden floor or a level floor are fine, but watch for slipping. You don't want to slip either. So I'm going to place these blocks out to the side. I'm going to pick up my heel and let it slide down the mat. Again, you could lower it right here. We were in that a little bit earlier. We just didn't, now we're not sitting back onto the heel. I'm going to switch my back foot because it was blocking me from moving, and then just drawing in. I have the help of the blocks to hold up my body so that I'm not splatting down on my inner thigh. I want to make sure that my body is preparing, that I don't send a shockwave through it, that I say, okay, this may be where we're at. I might begin to move the blocks away. Here, this is Hanuman. Hanuman is the monkey deity, service. Exhale, lower. Using my hands as support. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come up. Now, how do we get out of this split, right? We're just going to lean off to the left. Draw my right leg in. Draw the right leg all the way around. And just hold. Dandasana. You could flip to plank, different things, just bring it together. Now that was all with the left leg forward. We're going to go ahead and do it with the right leg forward. And that's our stretch for today, starting with the lunge. Back and forth. Lifting the hips, pyramid. Back and forth. And then seeing whether or not that hip or that foot can extend out for split. So here we're going to try that right hand side. And this is our little segment for today. Feels good to fold everything too here. Keep everything together. When ready, right foot comes up. I can have my hands framing the foot, hands behind the line of the heel here, or have blocks. This may be just great for you. Leaning in just a little bit. Pressing the toes into the mat. Picking up that foot, extending the knee back just a couple of inches. Oh, maybe I've decided I want a little bit more, so there goes the toe, there goes the knee, flip the foot back, and that sinks this wonderful extension. Remember, all that flexion we're in all the time, we want to extend the hip flexor here. Open that up. Of course, you're getting a wonderful quad stretch, femoral muscle stretch on that left side. Not too much. This is all fairly coming close to the bone rather than stretching away on the opposite side. I'm going to pick up that foot, walk back. I am preparing that right leg for pyramid, for Hanuman. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Use your blocks. Let them help guide you. 3 raising and lowerings. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Showing the range. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bringing the blocks back together. Watch the action of that foot. Presses forward. There goes the knee. There goes the hip, and the other leg will open. Now I'm going to lean into that right foot to free up the back foot to curl my toes underneath. And then I'm going to become a little higher in the hip. And remember, I'm going to lean and bend, pick up, and lower that heel wherever it goes. That's comfortable for you. Inhale. This is a great opening for the pyramid here. Exhale. Notice I'm folding the elbows. That's what brought my heart toward that leg. Exhale again. Inhale. Exhale. Elbows bend. That brought my torso closer to the leg. Inhale. Options. Back, framing the foot, behind the foot, side of the mat, behind the mat, and so on. Getting ready from our lunge to the pyramid, Paschimottanasana, to Hanuman. So I'm just going to bring up that heel and I'm going to let it slide. Again, socks on a even floor, fine, socks on a mat, but I'm just going to go ahead and let that heel slide. And then I may end up bringing the back knee down, another choice. Open. gently go back and get your leg if you need to. Bring it in. Take that left foot all the way around. Limbs together. Rest in Dandasana, staff pose, staff or pole. So spine is relatively straight. Notice I have immediately a micro bend in the knee. That's to keep my heels down on the mat. If I do the pressing of the knees, see my heels will float up. That means I'm hyperextensive. I can open that up like nothing, but the heel lifts off the mat. And I am pressing the meniscus and squeezing too much, leg bone on, just rubbing that little gasket away. So in order to get the heels down for me, my body, I've got the space underneath the knees. This is how I should stand. This is how I should be in postures with this drawing up of strength into the femoral muscle here through a tight kneecap, not slapping it back like that. This is just for hyperflexive people. If you are tight, pressing, stretching, use the resistance of the floor, the earth, the surface, to stretch out the backs of those legs. I'm going to just finish this out today with a little strap. And remember the prasrita we did in the very beginning, the open leg and the coming through. You can have strap for that as well. This is maybe a little short. You might take 2 straps together and then you bring yourself here. But to finish this off, we're just going to do a little Janu Shirshasana, which is head to knee. I don't want to be too roll forward here, not ideal. Sliding it back. Watch the wrists, they don't turn, they don't arc, that they're nice and straight. And I'm going to bring my elbows so that they graze the rib cage. Any farther ahead of the rib than that, and I am bringing my spine into rounding, I'm protruding the jaw. I'm going to bring that jaw back, nice open spine. And any amount, bring the strap into you. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Notice I'm keeping my spine relatively quiet, my elbows at my sides relatively quiet. Inhale. Exhale. Now this is one option. Do I feel I'm in an unhinging of shoulder and elbow? Could I get more of the rib cage down if I release that strap? Walked my hands forward. That is a little stretchy stressing there. That's tension. But if I go ahead and hold the feet, relax the elbows, a little softer. Inhale, come up. And a long spine. Out goes the spine. Rather than draw it in and round up, if I'm here, I'm pressing, almost skimming my nose along the shins to come forward and up. That's core. More core, less back. Taking the hands and the heels. I do the same thing every time. I'm coming to my back. So much flexion, even in Paschimottanasana pyramid, even in Prasrita, folded forward, wide angle leg. Even in Hanuman, the split, everything was flexing. So here is a great opportunity to exhale, drop in that core, make a lake of the belly. And then on your next inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. I'm going to open up the thoracic spine to meet the mat. And then taking the legs out to the corners of your mat. All the muscular strength, the hugging, the stretching, comes into a surrender and a softness. Relax your face. Unhinge your jaw. Rest. Soften. Compassion for your own body. Namaste.